Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a collective reading. Know that energy is fluid, rules could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So we do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play those karmic themes, how you understand why your person's doing what they're doing, why you're attracting who you're attracting into your life, right? There's always a spiritual significance, and when we understand that spiritual significance, we can actually transcend the limitations of our ego, which is huge because when we go through experiences that create trauma, they create spiritual blockages, and spiritual blockages are just psychological and emotional, but that energy is held in the body as stress. So even though that energy plays out within our experiences, within our relationships and our finances, it also has the power to affect our physical health because it blocks the energy flow. See, the energy that we're supposed to be is the energy of love. And that energy is the same energy as the universe. It's the same energy as God because God created the universe. So it's just an extension of the universe. We too are an extension of God. So we are all connected to each other and through oneness. So when we're out of balance, we're actually out of balance, not just with the laws of God, but the laws of the universe and the laws of nature. So whether you don't believe in God or whether you just believe in science and life, either way, the laws all line up to get you to the same place, to make sure that you are again balanced and whole. You just have to be in the energy of unconditional love, which is when we're most open to and receptive. Problem is that we're born into families and societies where we create spiritual blockages. We inherit, ancestral karma and collective karma, which is why that happens. So we wouldn't know what that karma was. We wouldn't even understand why we were here unless we had our own like personal experience, right? We wouldn't even know why we were here. It's again, whether or not we were really seriously connected to like a higher power is what I'm saying, that there would be no point. The whole point of healing your shadows is so that you revert back to the energy of unconditional love. That's why we look at the spiritual blockages. Your relationship is just a mirror of what's going on inside. So when your relationship is really triggering you and you're attracting people that keep you stuck in a place of guilt and shame and victimization, well, then you know you have spiritual blockages. Now, if your life is going fine in your relationship, then this isn't going to be your channel a lot of times. This channel is to help you heal, help people heal. Okay, so the underlining energy, well, two came out like they stuck to each other, and it's betrayal and it's nostalgia. So I'm kind of feeling like someone is being really obsessive right now. They're so like can't stop thinking about like how they treated you, but also like how you're not like thinking about the connection, like that you're just gonna throw this away, that you're just gonna throw, the connection away because of their betrayal. And so again, I feel like this person knows that you're disgusted with them. Again, it's a spiritual connection. So what happened is that because this person betrayed you, and they didn't do anything about it, they stay in fear because they kept the situation like in balance for a long period of time. So they didn't care whether you were sorry or not, is what I feel like. So there's a sense that this person, I'm gonna look and see like again what they did before I say anything else. So again, they have instability. So what it is that this person, like there was a spiritual connection. It's not like there wasn't a spiritual connection. That knowledge, that wisdom is that higher knowledge. However, they're acting like the time like that you spend together with this person, means more to you. And what I'm trying to get at is it's almost like this person thinks that you should forget about what they did. Instead, again, think about how long you've been in their life, how long you've been connected to them, how long like you guys have had feelings for each other instead of what they've done. And the thing is, it's like they know that you're not looking at things like that way because you're looking at how this person is they're not stable in their own life and they want to come into your life and create that. They never did. They never created a solid foundation with you ever. They don't really seem to have a solid foundation in their own life, and that means could just mean that they don't really know what they want. It's like they can have a house, but being that they don't really know what they want for themselves, they don't create that. So being that they don't create that for themselves, you know that they can't do it for you. Um, you got to the point where you like got tired of their addictions, that they use substances to escape their own reality, and they don't change. So you finally got to the point where the boiling point where, you were like, you got angry. And it's like, and you couldn't deal with it anymore because you found that it was not like really safe. You'd like to be around this person because they weren't being present for you. And there's also a sense that you wanting them to show up for themselves, got them like to a place where, they stayed stuck, but it's also like they got angry and they were wanted to be more manipulative about the situation. And so they would never really fix it. So the thing is that you and this person got into separation because you wanted them to clean up. You wanted them to show up for you. And the truth of the matter is that this person kept it up in the air the entire time. It's like almost like I'm not going to break up with you, but I'm not really going to I'm not going to change. I'm not going to, you're mad right now. And being that you're mad right now, I'm going to disconnect from you. Almost acting like it was your fault because you were acting like, hey, the connection and how long we've known each other doesn't mean anything to me. You still have to like show up for yourself. I'm not going to tolerate that. And this person, like I said, was manipulative. And they were manipulative because every time you would say something, it's like this person would get angry. Again, where they just, you could feel their anger like brimming, like even if they weren't explosive to you, you could feel that it was like that they were angry, that their anger was always simmering beneath the surface because, hey, you wanted them to be accountable, and no change, absolutely no change. So, almost like the connection is enough for you to put up with all this. Right? That you're expected to love them more than you love yourself. That's what this energy is here. So again, where it's like any type of boundaries, this person feels stifled, acts as if you're demanding, that you're limiting the relationship. That's what they're acting like. When the truth of the matter is, you have to put boundaries up. If you don't put boundaries up, you're not going to be safe, you know, like you're not safe within yourself. And that the person didn't care about that. They would, just play games, be childish, and you got to the point where you're like, this is just too many issues to deal with you. Like you make it difficult. You want to wear me down. You want to like wear me down so that I don't live my truth. And that's really what you saw because they have too many like barriers that from past relationships. So the relationship would never grow is what you saw. It's like they like more attachment. It's like that's what they feel comfortable with, the attachment, which means that you would be a supply because again, how do they deal with life through their addictions? They don't show up for themselves, so they kind of need a mommy. That's the energy or a daddy. And because they purposely stay stuck. Anytime you're putting up boundaries, it's like, oh yeah, stifled. That's stifled. Like you're the one that's limiting. You're the one where it's like, no, you want me to be stifled. You want to limit me. See, that's the difference. When you set the boundaries, you're calling the shots. It's like you're in your power. This person doesn't like it. They're the ones that want to stifle you. They want to be demanding and they want to limit you because they don't want to change. And that's what you saw here. It's again, and that's what an attachment is. It's again the person that acts like, well, we have this connection, this soul connection, and that the time that we've spent together is what really is going to cloud your vision. And but it's really not you because you look beyond the romance and to discern the discernment and that you really aren't safe with this person because they don't show up for themselves. Look, they're again temporary relief. They check out, they withdraw. They don't really want to be in a relationship. Love blockages, past love relationships that have scarred them, inner child wounds. So they're going to be prideful. They don't want to miss their chance. It's not like they don't have like a connection to you, but it's more about they don't want to like regret the fact that they missed a chance. So it's like kind of like that I want to hold on to you, but I don't really want to change. I want to just I would like you to be a part of my supply, is what I kind of see here. Like I said, storms of love, breaking up to make up. We break up to make up. That's what this person does. So the relationship never grows. It never does anything. It's like it's continually not stable. And it's not stable because this person doesn't want to. So again, so when you took your energy back, of course, they're obsessed. They can't believe it because, hey, there was a connection. They thought that things were going to play out the way that they thought that they were going to play out. It's again, this person had a big ego. They can't believe that they pushed it to the point that you're disgusted. That's what bothers them. It's again, but how you see it is, it's like this person doesn't show up for themselves. They're living in a dream world. They, have love blocks. They, continually check out. And being in a relationship with them, you have to always like read between the lines. Well, like because this person can't sustain themselves. You know that because you're like, I'm not gonna get consumed in you. It's like that's really what it is, that you would be consumed with them because they want it their way all the time. They're like Burger King. They want it their way, just their way. It's like that's it. And they're not gonna really allow you to be any different. So, like I said, they wanted to keep you stuck and acted like what you were asking for was too much. And that's how you know that this person, like, you know, it's all about them winning because it's like they're the ones that betrayed you. They're the ones that kept the relationship in a place of imbalance. Now they're fearful, of course, because now they're consumed with you when you were supposed to be consumed with them. This again, but you're not hiding things. They hide things. You're not the one checking out. They are. You weren't the one that came into the relationship with 1,000 love blocks. They were. And then on top of it, they're prideful about it, and then get mad if you don't gonna act like you don't see it. It's like, of course you got disgusted with this person. You thought that they were somebody else. It's again, you thought that this was a connection. So, understand that people can only meet you where they're at, right? So we have to say, well, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna do anything at all to fix the connection? Um, well, they're fearful. It's like they're fearful. because it's like they know that they pushed this to a point that you're like not really like having it. Then they, again, I feel like they don't really know how to manipulate the situation, you know? That's if this person can have the upper hand, if they can strategize away, they would, but they can't. They know the only one way would be forgiveness, but I think that they think that you wouldn't forgive them. And that's also going to make them surrender their ego, their pride. And that's something that, they again have this fear over. There's just so much fear this person has. Like just family patterns, like growing up in a family where the relationship wasn't good between the mother and father. They didn't have good relationships. This person, like I said, they play a lot of games. They just they play a lot of games, but I also feel like they've inherited the ancestral karma of addictions, of avoidance. That's what they grew up with, that's what they saw. So it's almost like they would be very like demanding and someone that stifled you in what they would need you to be in order for them to function properly almost in a relationship, not just in a relationship, but in life. So again, to put you in a place of disempowerment, this person is actually always feels disempowered. So if you were living your best self, understand that would definitely trigger this person because of that. But they're because they're lazy. They don't do what it takes to actually, fix their life. You know, and that happens also over time when a person just doesn't believe that they can fix it. Where if they've been walking around with family patterns for a long time and have this much fear in their relationship, they have a pretty big ego where apologizing would be extremely difficult. They know what they have to do, but again, it's almost like they're lazy. And there's a sense of, I don't really have enough to offer or to give. But all this says more about them than it does about you because this is where they are right now. They're in a place of lack, again, laziness, disempowerment, all again, family patterns that they, you know, watched growing up, and so this person is actually intimidated by you. It's like because they're not really who they say that they are and that they betrayed you. They know what they did. So they're focused on really not being able to come back to you because they know that you know that they treated you badly. And they also know that you know who they really are. There's also it would require them to like surrender their ego and they're so prideful. And they also don't want to be in a relationship. It's like again the whole make up to break up and keeping the relationship up in the air and acting like they don't really know and you get into an argument with the person and they purposely don't work it out with you, but they don't let you go either. It's like I want to toy with you. I want to play with you. You felt manipulated. You felt like the person was always scheming. Like they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, but they knew you didn't want that type of relationship. So they were gonna like keep pushing you into submission. And then what really happened is they pushed it to a point where they betrayed you. And now they're upset that you've let go. They're obsessed. Like, my God, like I can't believe I pushed it to that point. Right, but then it's like, but are you gonna fix it now? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna withdraw, I'm gonna check out, I'm gonna go back to my old coping mechanisms, which is addictions, which is what you see here. It's again where, this is how they would handle life, not just the relationship with you. It's like what every saw. They don't show up for themselves. So you have to ask yourself, why did you attract this person into your life? You're a mirror of whom what comes into your life, right? Let's see the energy is. Let's pick six. Physical touch card number one. This one's sticking out. So we're going to take it. Nurturance, laughter, frustration, love, and guidance. Well, I feel like you grew up in an environment where you weren't nurtured. You didn't feel loved. And I say that because physical touch is emotional support. So again, it was frustrating. Was frustrating for you because you watched other parents like laugh with their parents and have good times with their parents and get nurtured by their parents and feel loved by their parents, and it was so confusing for you and frustrating for you that it made you feel not loved. It made you feel as if that there was something wrong with you. So again, it stole your laughter a little bit because you know growing up in an environment where the closest people to you, they should be the ones that are nurturing to you, giving you love and support and guidance, and you didn't have any of that. So that psychological and emotional abuse, well, it was really emotional abuse, but it became psychological from not getting that emotional abuse. I mean, that without getting that emotion. So what it was even though it was just emotional abuse, it turned into psychological abuse. And so being with this person, it would be the same thing because they're a one-sided person. Like again, they're in their addictions, they check out, they avoid, they have no stability on their own. They can't create stability for you. So if they don't have stability on their own, they're not going to bring you stability. And who wants to make up to break up? And now that you see them now, of course, that they're sorry, they don't want to miss their chance. Like I said, like it's like, no, they wanted to keep this relationship stuck the whole time. No change, no change, no change. And again, so eventually it just pushes you into submission where it's more of an attachment than anything else. That's what this person was doing. So, it was a good thing that you disconnected from them, and it's now they're eating the karma because it's almost like you dodged a bullet and they're upset that almost like you got away, you know? That's why they're obsessed. So we have to look and say, what are you supposed to be doing with the energy right now? Is the Spirit says, even though that happens, still be vulnerable. Being open to healing your faults is true strength. Embrace your authenticity. So you could say, my fault is that person. Well, you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. So giving this person the time and the attention instead of pouring it into yourself is one way where spirit says, understand the situation was only here to help you alchemize the negative energy that you already had, like which was from how you grew up clearly without that love, without that support, that you created your own support and you did that because hey, you met your tribe. You created your support yourself. Got that love and you aligned your actions with your heart's true desires by following your passions. So again, you gave yourself the emotional support that you didn't have growing up and that this person didn't give you. So what you saw is, I really don't need you. I really don't need you. And that's what this person can't believe. That's why this person is like so shocked and upset. And so now it's about creating the sacred space for yourself and about listening to your own soul's calling. Let your own like soul guide you. Yes, align your actions with your values, with so that you always are in alignment. But you're on your path. You needed to go through this experience, it looks like, because hey, maybe not growing up the way that you did, you always felt like you needed all that emotional support. And what Spirit says is you don't need anything outside of you. This person thought for sure, that you would tolerate less because of the connection. And then they never thought in a million years that you would let go. They're obsessed about it. So you know that they're eating their karma while you're moving into a whole new life. And Spirit says, now it's about balancing in your life. Like find the balance between each sphere of your life. You're the master of your daily life. Make time for your spiritual and physical health. Bring love to the world by fulfilling the needs of your body and your soul. So you again, it's all about, taking time out for your spiritual health by creating that sacred space, but also by becoming a part of the world, by following your passion and doing what you love and becoming what you love, and then Spirit, the universe brings you every person and situation that's supposed to be in your life that's going to help restore you and bring you back to your original energy of unconditional love. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. It's good karma. And if you like to read, check out my Medium post. You can find it under Laura Schwam at medium.com. All right. Thanks again. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.